All right, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. I hope you've had a good weekend. Good morning, Johnny. Are you still getting ready for your home and garden show thing this coming Tuesday? Still working on that? Um, so appreciate everybody coming in. We're going to do something a little different today. It is mock designing in studio, but we're not going to do Star Wars. It's going to be another science fiction film. I do have a list of non-Star Wars sci-fi microfighters that I'd like to make, and this is one of them. So today we are going to be working on the hero ship from 2001: A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick movie based off an Arthur C. Clarke novel, the first of a series of novels. And the titular, or it's not the titular, but it's the main hero ship, the Discovery. This was one of the first, because I grew up watching, like most people my age, grew up watching Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers, and there were, for the most part, the ships and the space depictions were of a fantasy nature. There were sound effects and there were laser blasts and there were basically planes in space. And the ones that weren't planes, the big ships that people lived on, were like big cities. And they were just like big hotels with, gravity on the floors and carpeting and glassware and like all kinds of stuff. So the depiction of space in 2001 was unique in that it was as real as could possibly be. And I think that was a large part of why people liked it so much. I mean, it was a compelling story and it was a masterwork on film, cinematography, and direction. Kind of until about the last 5-10 minutes, and then you're like, what? Is he going through hyperspace? Is he seeing through time? Like he's a baby? Sorry to spoil a 50-something-year-old movie, but yeah, so this ship basically gave us the first kind of indication of this is what it would be like to travel through space for real, right? Nothing with fancy blasters and big engines that glow hot all the time like they're propellers on a plane. Nothing that looks like a plane. This was, here's your almost kilometer long storage unit, because you're going to need food, you're going to need supplies, you're going to need oxygen. The big round thing at the front that has a rotating thing for gravity, so you can exercise and you can run experiments and all this stuff. So it was just the weirdest, most grounded thing that I'd seen up until this point. And it was creepy too then in 2010 when you see this ship later. If you haven't seen 2010, I would highly recommend it. I feel like it's the better movie. Maybe the story is not as good, but as 2001, but I like the movie a lot. And it still presents that kind of feeling of awe about space and the unknown that is the monolith and the life form that lives in the monolith and everything like that. So it's wonderful. But it was on the list to do as a microfighter, so that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to try to do or replicate the spacesuit that David Bowman was in toward the end. I'm not really sure how orange to make it. Some of these are very orange. So it looks like they're more of the orange variety. I'm not going to be able to reproduce the helmet. Yep, more work on the garden stuff this Tuesday. Next Tuesday is setting up all day. Cool. I'm not going to be able to get this helmet or the backpack exactly, or the kind of the ribbed But we have orange astronauts already, so I'll probably just use one of those and call it a day. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I am not hungover, but I'm tired from yesterday. Yesterday was the home. This light's flickering. Give me 1 second. This overhead light is on a dimmer, and if you have it cranked all the way up, it flickers. So I have to get it like all the way up and then come back down like 5% so it stops flickering. It's not as bright, but it, I don't want to have a stroke while I'm figuring out stuff. Would have thought astronaut would have come up with a okay. No astronaut body parts? All right, well, let's see if we can just kind of dumb through it. Space. The only thing that comes up is classic space. EVA? No. Suit. Huh. Interesting. And there aren't that many here. Am I on a different palette or something? Main. I'm not using a special palette. Cliff, what's up? I'm having a great day. So last night was the home opener of Austin FC, and we got to the brewery that's nearby in time to have the march. We didn't get there in time to get like the cheaper beer, but right as the La Murga, the band started playing, the supporter band, we got there right then. They played a couple songs. We hugged everybody that we hadn't seen in a few months. Started the march on down to the stadium. Got right in our seats. Rowan and I went over to the one side to pull on the ropes to raise the tifo up, and then there was cards everywhere. I'm going to show you the tifo because we're very proud of it since we worked on it. Now I can show everybody. I don't know if it'll come up right away, but because it's a new one, I'm gonna have to go to Blue Sky and get it. But we raised it, everything was great, and then the game was really good and they won. So yeah, 1-0, and it was a misty sort of 40-35 degrees out, so it was nice. They started doing fireworks in a different spot on the stadium. There we go. There's the tifo. So you can't really. This is a distant photo. This is slightly better. So this says always here year after year. We've got Stu. He's the goalie. Brad Stuver. De La 512 from the 512. That's the area code of Austin. VHLM. Verde Hasta La Muerta. And then I can't read what these are over here. And these are some of the players that are current. And this is the Congress Street Bridge. Hi, Missy. How are you? Thank you for being here. So in Austin, there's a bridge that goes over the Lady Bird Lake, and it's Congress Street Bridge, and it's where all the bats live. So if you've ever heard about the largest urban colony of Mexican free-tailed bats is in Austin, Texas, and it's under this bridge. So this is a Mexican free-tailed bat. And I don't know why he has a 5 on him, or an S. Anyway, I helped paint this. So I painted like this part of the wing right in here. And then Rowan and I are probably right about here in the stands. And we're pulling on these ropes that pull the whole thing up. So, and then we sit right in here. And then the game was great. The ref made a few questionable calls, but Austin looked really, really good. They have a new roster, and they have a lot of new players and a new coach. and it was a totally different look and feel, and it felt great to like have a team that didn't just sit back and kick the ball to themselves. It's called the horseshoe of sadness, and then wait for a mistake the other team can go and score. Like they were aggressive and they were going vertical on the field. It looked really wonderful. So, but yeah, so throat's a little raw because we're cheering. Did they remove a bunch of torsos? Like, I feel like there were a lot more torsos in here. Or maybe they're just called minifig body instead. No, torsos. Let's go by minifig body. Let's see if we can break this down, because I thought there were a lot more. There's like almost none. Torso assembly? What happened? Huh. Yeah, there's Batman and Classic Space and a Boba Fett and a panda chest or something. What happened to all the torsos? There used to be like a ton of these things. I just did an update, so I'm gonna go check real quick. Part of the process. It's part of the process. Oh, can you imagine? Thanks for supporting Bricklink Studio over the years. If you'd like to see all your torsos, it's $9.99 a month. Studio forum. Torso. Well, there's nothing new yet. This is probably an update that happened in the last 2 days, and none of these are... Oh, there's one today. This is part... I don't want to go to... Let's see... Development, studio parts... Well, I may have to come back to make the Dave Bowman part of this. DSA changes, update studio system requirements, studio on Linux, update to studio. None of these are like real recent. I don't want general discussions. I want not development. Bugs and suggestions, how to report a bug. Connect, big bag, placing. Okay, I'm just gonna ask a question. Fewer torsos. Just updated. And I noticed the number of torsos has dropped considerably. Any info on that? Okay. Well, in the meantime, we'll do a dummy torso. Let's do blank, and then we'll do a right arm. Doesn't really matter because it's going to be not, you know, I mean, look at this too. There used to be a ton of arms, like all different kinds of prints. You know what? My apologies. I'm going to go delete this post. Where was it? Where did I put it? Where'd it go? I need to go delete this post toot sweet because I am Rollman, Lord of the Idiots. No? Can I delete the post? Edit. Delete. Submit. Incorrect information, and I'll tell you why. We were working on something last week where I wanted to select only trans blue, something like that, and I left this on. Hide unavailable parts. Now you can see all those torsos are back. Let's get rid of that, and now we're gonna do astronaut. And I'm sure we're gonna get torsos. Almost positive. I mean, look at that. And it even comes in orange. So this isn't gonna match Dave Bowman exactly, but oh, I didn't have the filtering bug. The bug was in here. I had the filtering feature that the bug in my brain went, yeah, you're fine. What is that? That's probably more. Anyway, let's get an arm in here. And now that I've got these guys on, does he have any... what do his shoulders look like? Nope, just basic. Let's do this and then color it orange as well. So it's got like slightly different. It's like a reddish orange. So I'm gonna break this a little bit. Remember, this is gonna be on later. This is gonna be reddish orange. So I'm gonna do this on everything. But again, it's just because I almost just want a blank. Nope. So here's my thing. If you've got a print on these, I need to maybe suggest this. Have this rotated so I can see the print. You know? These all have like prints on them and stuff. I just need a right arm. There we go. Good to know that the arms come in dark orange. Yeah, so dark orange is available in here, but I would have to say we can go through maybe and see what torsos can be in dark orange. We can say that's the color we want and hide everything. And if we just do torso, fireman looks like, or farm worker, safety jacket. This is probably like I mean, you could do this as like an oil worker or something, some sort of construction. So you could use a safety jacket in that color, and say it's an astronaut, but it's just it's almost red. So let's do hip. Take this off. Nope. Take this off. And we're just gonna do regular left leg. The fun is gonna come from the backpack. Yeah, the safety vest may not work for a an astronaut, but again, I only make I muck with the minifigs in studio because everybody's gonna have different minifig parts. So wish the hands weren't so far down. They'll be able to do whatever they want. So then there's the pack, and there's usually a thing that goes on the front, and I'm wondering, are there pieces we can put in the front and the back? So if we did like a neck, make sure to take. Nope. Okay, that's good. There's a neck bracket, so I want to do these two things. But there's another one that goes up here. And I'm wondering if that's going to remove too much purchase for the head. Put another thing up in the front there. What does the front look like? It's just a tile. And I don't think I'm going to have anything in this color. But what about regular orange? Not much. How about dark orange? Not much. Earth orange? That's funny. Medium orange. There's a lot of different oranges on here. So we'll do that, and we'll just do regular orange, and we'll just find a thing that looks like it's got doodads or gear or something on the front. A little bit of the machine parts. Maybe not that. I also had a vision of him standing in this. It's a big sphere. So instead of having him sit down, I would think that I could slot it down. Do this. Seems pretty regular. I'd slot it. I'd have him stand in it instead. That would give more room, and then I could make more of a sphere. So on this back, it looks like I don't want this to be too big, but I don't know how to make this. That's entirely too big. Let's do 2 ingots and call it a day. And I don't know if I can get another plate in there. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll work. And then a head. And we'll give him a yellow head. He's got a frown because he's David Bowman. Oh, that's cool. It's got a little mic in it. I wonder if he's got a mic in his helmet. He might. It makes him look oddly tall. And we'll just do a regular space helmet and visor because this is like it's almost like a motorcycle helmet because it's kind of angled a little bit. I don't know if there's a good shot. It's these like kind of longer, narrower helmets, but I don't think Lego has anything like that. So maybe we'll just do that and a visor. Do we know of any helmets that look like that? Any newer space helmets? Maybe that. That's like a fireman's helmet. Oh, astronaut. Yeah, we could do that. Visor. We just need a regular old visor. And we'll do trans clear. I'll put this on him. And that'll be it. All right, we got David Bowman. Cool, hooray. That'll clip a little bit, but again, this is all just made up. So we're gonna save as, and we're gonna do Microfighters. And we're gonna do my designs. Nope. And we're gonna do studio files. So this is Discovery. I may have to change the name later to like Discovery 2001 if I end up making like space shuttles or something, but I do have a lot of Star Trek stuff on the list, and there is a Discovery that I've added, so that might be a thing. All right, to the ship. So the ship is a giant sphere with a long spine of storage units and machine parts and oxygen canisters and fuel and what have you. I don't think there's going to be a good image of it with a very long look at it. This is kind of good because you can kind of see what is along here. So 2001 Space Odyssey Discovery. How about you spell Discovery right? There's another view of it. It does have little pods in it. I don't think we're going to be able to build the pods. Oh, here's a kind of a nice blow up of what's inside. So that's pretty cool. It has a launch bay for all the pods. There's 3 pods. There's a ring, like a habitat ring that will rotate. And then like the main airlock space up to the bridge. And then the memory core area. So that's pretty cool. That's a good thing. I'm not going to worry about that too much because I'm not going to take it apart. There's a good look at how long it is. It's a very long ship. So I think what's going to happen is I'll make the sphere and then maybe 1 or 2 little sections and then the little drivetrain in the back. I want to be able to have enough room to put the radar, the antenna dish on there somewhere. But the bulk of this is going to be the habitat control sphere area that the pilot will sit in. And then we'll chunk up the rest of the ones in the back. So I'm going to raise his arms up so he can be seated in a thing. If you haven't seen 2001, I would highly recommend it. It is a Kubrick film, so it's a little artsy. It's a little thinky. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's kind of long. The early parts of it where they're discovering what is happening on Earth and on the moon is really good. Again, for my money, the movie 2010 is much better. So, all right, we're not gonna do that. That's good. Turn printing off for now, and we're gonna change this color to light gray, light bluish gray, because I think this is white in the movie, but light bluish gray should be fine. Here's another look at like the thrusters in the back, that big old engines. So this ship was basically being sent to Jupiter. If I remember correctly, the mission was to go to Jupiter, and then they lost track of it. The onboard computer HAL 9000 went AWOL, went rogue, and took over the ship and did some bad stuff. Quarter. Let's just build off the corner brick. I forget what these are called. They're not slopes. Quarter round. Corner round. These guys. How big these guys are. If they will work for this. So I want to be able to put the viewport in here and these guys underneath. So it's going to be a little, I don't know if this is going to work real well or not, but, and there's also these pieces. I think we could maybe make it a little bigger. So these pieces could be used maybe. It's not terribly big. That may be a little big because we're gonna have to do a version upside down too to make the full sphere. So we could also brick build it or like lol sphere it. But if you do a lol sphere, you're going to have like, it's going to be chunky and it's going to, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll be studs out all over the place. So these could be useful. Nope. Somewhere. These could be useful. See, these are great, I think, if you've got something that can cover them at the top. Because I think by the time they get up there, they're almost flattened to the point where you just have to like cap the whole thing. And I don't think that's going to be good for what we need. This is a good windscreen shape for that. But also corner brick. I don't think these come in clear, but I may be wrong. Like, I know some do. I'm gonna turn this off again, so I'm only getting the parts that work. Yeah, those come in trans clear. This may be super helpful to have. So building on that as the windscreen, and then like these guys on top of it. But that's not very round. It's becoming kind of oblong. So maybe these guys on top of this. And then we can figure out a way for Bowman to sit in the center. And then put these guys on the back, maybe. Because I want this to be a nice round sphere. And it can be done. There's a Microfighter that I got that I reverse engineered for the Death Star, and I'm wondering if I need to go look at that and figure out what needs to be done to make a sphere that somebody can sit in. Because that's as spherical as we're going to get brick built, I think. But in order to get a guy in there, unless we put the guy in the back, but I think it would make more sense for him to sit up here. And we'd have to replace this or make stickers for like the little pod bay doors. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. And then, you know. So I'm going to take a look at that Death Star. Again, it's not my design. So I'm kind of not really... do I not have it in here? Death Star. There it is. Yeah, so this was kind of similar. This is Tarkin, and the idea was that he sits on top of here in like a little chair, like he would in the Death Star. This is probably Ki Young Lee's design, I think, if I remember correctly. But it fits, you know, it's 85 parts. It fits the size. Maybe I put Bowman on top of this like that, where he just sits up here. How did it flip over? I think... Wow, how did this happen? That's crazy. That's a weird way to do that. But I mean, I guess it worked. So this was using the idea of these modified plates, the fishing reel plates, as studs on two sides, and then it had these holding it together. So for one side, that makes sense. For this other side, I don't know what was holding those in place. Oh, it was, wow. It was built up and like capped to hold those down. So, yikes. But it gives me ideas for almost literally nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Because there's not a lot, like these pieces now could probably be rounded. I don't know why those clips are in here. These could be rounded like curved, one by one curved slopes. Could be more of use in here. But yeah, it's a fun design. I think I might try to build it. Anyway, let's save. Okay, so back to this. So let's look at some other curved slope pieces and see if something looks like it could help. There's these smaller pieces. Can I get these in gray? Yes. So if I needed corners at a smaller size, I didn't realize these were available, honestly. I haven't seen these in real life. That's a good piece. That can't be in gray. These can be in gray. These can be in gray. Oh, these will be real helpful. How big can those be? Oh, that may be where I need to go with this. So, kind of like that. And then that underneath it. It's really no different from these pieces. Honestly. But these could cap off those. If it was built up properly. So to build those up properly, I'm going to need, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We're going to need a brick. So what's I know Johnny's got plans to build for his home and garden show that's coming up. What are everybody else's plans? What do you got going on this week? What are you looking forward to coming up? Anything fun? What's up? Never too old for Lego. Good morning. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you're having a stellar morning. I picked up 2 botanicals. I didn't want to jump into these right away. I do want to continue to do design streams more than build streams, but I got the these 2 guys the other day. Smash on the keyboard. So sometime soon we'll work on these guys. 325 pieces. We might be able to get through both of these. 274 pieces. Both of these in one stream. They're not terribly complicated. I went to a party. One of our lug members had a birthday party, and his husband invited us to it because they'd come to Beth's birthday, so we went over there. And I was like, oh, we didn't get him a present. And he's in our lug, but he's also an RFLM, Brady Joiner Bricks. And so he gets sent sets by Lego to review, right? So knowing this, I messaged Philip and I was like, does he have this already? And Philip's like, yes. What about this? Yes, we have that. I'm like, all right, why don't you tell me what he doesn't have. And I'm already downtown. I'll go to the Lego store and get something. And he's like, good. Can you get me one of these other things too? I'm like, yes, absolutely. So picked up a couple of those. And while I'm there, I'm like, oh, might as well get these two. I get the points for buying the things that I got him, but also got the botanicals. So that'll be nice. Yeah, Brick Rodeo stuff. Still need to work on that. I liked what I was doing with the rock features around the edge of the world last time. So hopefully we can keep up the momentum, and I'll keep working on it. Like to get that done and off my plate soon so I can do other things. Okay, man. How about you stop being a jerk? Just get in there. Okay. And these I should be able to do in gray. No! These don't come in gray? They come in clear, but they don't come in gray. Wow. Okay. Well. Curve slope. Curved slope. I think I can make a rounded version to kind of get in here and do this. What are you up to, Never Too Old? What are you working on right now, Lego wise? Modded brick. I can do 2 of these, an adjacent brick. Oh, is it gonna like have a gap? Sure is. Why is it always a gap? Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to just get rid of this because I'm going to do a bracket. And see if this lines up a little better. It does. And then plate. Bracket. Oh, why is it always off like that? Oh. The bracket math always lets me down. Like, I'm just not smart enough to figure it all out, and it's always going to require more pieces, and I'm just going to make a big mess out of all of it. And that doesn't line up. What was that piece I said might be helpful? Where did I put that? Is this actually going to be of use in here? Or is this just going to be... That's a weird... If nothing else, this size is in gray. I may not be able to use that. I can figure out how to put this on here. Okay, so that'll be... Let's just get it over it and see if I can line it up to where this isn't exactly covering all these holes either in the back. And I don't really have a way to attach that. Maybe a round plate. So this is something I ran into with these plates, is there's no real good round plate. These plates that we get that are round plates are like oblong plates, and they stick out. They're not really round. And there's no plates that are round until you get bigger. Like that. I don't know why they do that. Wow. That's amazing. I got a bag of friend stuff. An old coworker still talks to one of my current coworkers and is like, "Do you want all this Lego?" And the good thing that came out of it is all these 16 by 16 plates, because these are all friend sets that are notorious for having these 16 by 16 plates on them. But I mean, I'm going to be getting a ton of micro dolls, right? Look at all the, I mean, nothing but micro dolls. This one's pretty good. That's a good minifig. That hat slash hair piece is pretty good. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of micro dolls. The other good thing about friend sets is they come with a lot of great little animals. So I'm going to get a lot of these. But there's a lot of burps in here, a lot of printed tiles. I don't know what else is really in here. It's definitely not 30 pounds, but it was free, so I'm not complaining, because at least it's parts. And the hair from the mini dolls works on regular Lego people, so the hair at least will be good to keep. But the mini dolls, like, I'm never going to use mini dolls for anything. So, and that's a pen cap. That's always fun to go through when you're doing Lego, is to be like, well, that's a finger or something. So yeah, this is frustrating, because what I want to happen is like a piece to go in here to hold this up, but this doesn't work. So, and this thing is a lot, this thing's a lot higher. So what colors do those come in? Not that. What about those? Not that. Let's do trans clear and only parts in that. No, trans clear. Round plates. Not a ton here I can use for canopies. And so sometimes I get to this point and I'm like, well, can I make stickers? Let's go back to light bluish gray, and we'll turn off our only use this and round plate. There's a semicircle one, I think, but it's also big. Like, it's too big for that. There are more since plates, more rounded plates. There's one that's 6 wide. Yeah. That one maybe? But that one, like, it, again, it's like, these aren't, I would think that you would do, if you did this, you would get a circle, but you don't. You get an oval. If you did it like this even, do you get a circle? You don't. You get a flower. Or a herringbone, or like, I don't even know what the shape is. It's not a circle. The rounded parts on this heart are more round than anything else. There's this one that's got a divot in the middle of it. That's pretty round. That actually might work somewhat. Just on the off chance that any one of these could be like trans clear, because I was, you know, if we can put, we're gonna replace this. This all can go now. None of this works. None of that works. None of that works. None of that works. None of that works. This can all go away. That doesn't work. Struggling mightily. We're an hour into it, and I'm like, this might work. Well, no, I didn't want to copy the whole thing, but thanks for asking. I want that piece, and I want there. That. Okay, that's. We're getting there. I still want something. Let's look up Lego spheres real quick. I am not great with building Lego spheres, but I would not be opposed to making a LOL sphere if that meant that some of this, like these pieces right here, could be clear. And I could put tiles down here or something. And I think this is probably a good size. Maybe slightly larger. I don't know. That's pretty good size for that. But it won't be nice and round. But it will give me an excuse to make a LOL sphere. Oh, that's pretty good. That one right there. Hello, Scott. How are you? This one might work because I could... These 1x4, I don't think... Curved slope. I don't think these guys come in clear. Because this would be great if I could put that as a clear piece. And I don't think they do. But I think these guys do. They do. So I could replace that with 2 of those. Where do I get set instructions? That is from Brick Techniques. Maybe they'll give me a link. Cool. Jaden Irwin, Eurobricks. Thanks for giving me the link to all that. Jaden Irwin. I could probably... Sphere. Nope. Well, that's helpful without pictures. Whoa. I hope nobody saw that. Ugh. Sorry, just... Yikes. That reminds me. Do I have... Why is my save search off? Can I check images now? Thank you. Good Lord. Yeah, that was... that was not fun. Well, here's different sphere techniques from Eurobricks, and that's where I wanted to go anyway. Oh. On Flickr. I do have a Flickr account. Maybe this will help. Jaden Irwin. Okay. Because this is kind of what I want. That actually looked really good if I could figure out how to do it. Jaden Irwin Eurobricks. Jaden Irwin Sphere Eurobricks. It might be an old post, but surely. Dang it. Sphere. All right, well, cool. So I think it's basically the same thing as a regular LOL sphere. But instead of plates, you're using these rounded pieces. So we're going to attempt to do this in program. So it requires these Travis bricks. Get a bunch of those. And yeah, like I've never done a LOL sphere before, so it looks like it's going to be yeah, so those are the jumper plates. Let's look at some LOL sphere instructions. LOL sphere instructions that aren't videos. Can I have like an infographic? Haha. That's what I need. Was that so hard? All right. So we need plate. And we need jumper. Now the plate is going to be, I think we specifically need the ones with the pins in them because I think they sit in these open studs. Now I'm going to change a lot of this to be sloped, but let's just go with the instructions that we got here and have those be off-centered a little bit. Has anyone made a LOL sphere before, like in your projects? Had a need for any of those? I haven't. I've never built one. And those are corner plates. Right? No, they go in. So this is a very, very simple version. You can take this and do whatever you need to if you wanted to ramp it up and build bigger ones. The process is pretty much the same. And so we do this times 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that'd be a good topic for I mean, we're doing it right now, so I mean, it's not like we're going into it super deep dive, but replacing some of these parts with more curved pieces seems like a fun thing to do. So let's put these here. And let's color these black, because I think I have more black of these than anything. We'll do this twice, so we'll take this one and get these guys. Put them on here. All right, well, what are they separated by? What is this? Anybody else tell what that is? There's nothing in between here. I think there's an artifact in here that makes it look funny. I think that's supposed to be red. But I think all you're supposed to do is flip these up. Now, it's only going to work on one side because there's overlap. And I remember this. There's overlap of the jumper plates to cover this area. So you can't put those two jumper plates together. So this would not, we would rotate. So it would line up like that. Okay, and then we'll put this guy on the top. And his jumper plates will be that way, I believe. No? Okay. Not there. And then the last one will go here. And jumper plates the other way. So there's a Lowell sphere. Quick and easy. And it's kind of the size I need for a Microfighter. So that works out pretty well. Yeah, it's all like they're attached at the corners, right? They're attached like right here on all of them. So yeah, those instructions may have been just like, you're going to do this and then you're going to kind of have to put the sides in while you're holding that piece in place. So, but let's talk about, so I'm going to get rid of this, although I may keep these because I feel like these could go up here somehow. I mean, these are corner plates-ish. So if I replace those with these, it might help round it a little bit. So I could do that around it. The other idea was that so this is going to be a little tricky because I want to replace a lot of these pieces in here, but keep these jumper plates. So the pieces I'm looking to replace are with that. So we can get another look at that. One that was kind of cool. So it looks like I can't see a seam in here. I don't think there's caps lock. I don't think there's one of these that's bigger. That's like a... Wow. I didn't know that was a piece. So this would be a... It's so hard to tell because you can't see the seams in here. I think these are just more of these. So it still has the jumper plates over them. So I'm just replacing... Let's see if we can just replace some parts on one side. See what happens. Because it looks like these are gone. And we're replacing that. And then that. Because that's the jumper plates from the other side, I think. Hard to tell. Or this makes more sense. Because then I'd had stuff in here to where I could Nope, still doesn't make sense. The reason I say that is because if these pieces need these jumpers to come out from underneath them. So this. Which means something else is holding these in place in the middle here. Which means we've got something else inside acting as basically basically a piece like this that's being put in here like this. And I don't know where that's going to be. I almost feel like it's somehow modified brick. I think it may be one of these. Okay, but then I don't need that. I just need 1x2 plates. Yep, this is the fun of reverse engineering. So that's how that looks. And I just have to be able to repeat it all the way around and have it not fall apart. But this affords me a couple, so I don't want to do that here. So let's get rid of this and we'll just replace these. This affords me a little more control over, like, I think I could probably do 1x2 slopes here, and I can make the pod bay doors maybe down here, and then these be clear up here. So it'll look a little bit like a cockpit, and then maybe keep the back half of this open to put in the pilot. And then keep the back of this open to be the attachment for the spine of the ship. So first things first, I'm actually going to keep a plate in here because I think it'll be stronger. And it looks like there's a gap in here anyway. So, all right, so I want to pull these out so I can see what I'm doing. And it's these as well. And then we've got... So none of these stay. So let's highlight all of these. Get rid of those, get rid of those. I want to keep, and I want to keep the rest of these. So then on alternating ones of these, we'll put these guys in here. Oh, that may not work. Okay, well, gotta figure something else out. I really wish this existed somewhere where I could get the instructions for it. So this works over here. Then I can replicate this over here. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. But I can replicate this over here. I have a feeling there's something else inside here. So let's put on these sides. It's going to be the same side all over the place. And then these will also be able to go on top. Right? So it's just these two funky sides I'm not going to be able to do anything with, I think. I take these guys. And put them up top. And down below. I've got, this is like figuring out a Rubik's Cube. I got most of the sides. Keep one out here. Now I just need to figure out this guy. Oh, I don't think I need to. So this guy can sit like that. That guy can sit like that. Oh, yeah. I need to figure out how to get these two in there. It almost feels like they need to be held in place with a middle, like spine across somehow. Because if I put a bracket in here, although that's cheating, I feel like. But if it works, it works. It's going to mess up the math. Does that not fit in here? Does it fit the other way? Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Okay, so what is that running into? Can't see where that's running in. Oh, it's the Travis bricks down there. All right, so it can't be that. I still think the solution is one of these, but I don't know how. I mean, surely it's not this easy. See, those are not together. Are they? Oh, I needed the plates. I took the plates off. Huh. I guess it is that easy. Well, I'll be. I may have to build this in real life just to make sure this works, because this is pretty rad. And this is why I'm not a better builder than I am, because this kind of genius architecture is so way beyond me. I say that, but we figured it out, right? So there's your smooth Lowell sphere. I think that's a lot better. I mean, not 100% a lot better, but and now to make the canopy up here, I can get the curved slopes. Yeah, I mean, I always, that's such a dumb thing to be like, I can't do stuff like this, and then proceeds to do stuff like this. All right, so that's very cool. So that's the canopy. It's not perfectly round, but you know, we're doing what we can with it. This down here, I'm gonna do the pod bay doors. So we're gonna do round tiles. Tiles? Did I do a thing again where tile, round tile? Do they have one with little, I don't know, spokes on it or something? I think there's ones that look like Millennium Falcon. Those will probably work pretty good. What is this? This is a closed eye for when Solo is melted in carbonite. That's pretty funny. Although they do look like doors. They do look like those doors. Although people are going to see them and go, those are closed eyes. Excuse me. So let's see what else we got. Also has to be in gray, so I hate doing this, but that's pretty good, but it's too Empire. That's pretty good, but it's like an eyeball. I mean, maybe that's what we gotta do. And then I'm gonna try this. I think it'll bulge out too much. No, it's not too bad. So, kind of ish pod bay doors, and you know what? That's pretty good. I like it. Let's move on. Spent a lot of time doing this already. So, the next trick is to, I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to build this in real life to make sure it doesn't fall apart when I start monkeying with some of the other stuff, because it is being held together by these things across the corner structures. So removing some of these, I want to make sure that when I start doing that, it'll work in the software because it's just studs and anti-studs. It's just going to clip onto to something no matter what. And you got to go through and make sure that when you actually put it together, it doesn't fall apart on you. So like, for instance, this probably is okay. And I can get rid of these and I can put on, I can put on 1x2 slopes here. And this will then just become this tail end here. Now, it's not going to be too big because I want to put a little engine back here and they look like little compartments. So maybe I'll do a section of them that are have ingots on them. But also leave one section for enough for the radar, or maybe that's it. That's the whole section, is one with the radar and then the engine. I kind of want to try to do 3, but I think 3 ingots is going to be too long. It might be too big for a microfighter. We got that long. Maybe a little shorter than that. Maybe that long. Something like that. And then a little engine block back here. That's not too big, right? We're already at 106 parts just for the sphere. That's pretty funny. But totally worth it. The other thing is I want to be able to remove some of this. And we'll do this in gray, and if I take out one of these, is it going to be okay? And then have him sit in here somehow. I have to figure out a place to put his legs. His backpack is going to be a little problematic, but what are you running into there, buddy? Your hips? Legs are still running into something. Is it the other jumper plates? I think the studio needs to tweak its what axis you are able to move. I think it needs to give it more than like 5 degrees. Hello, Greg. Yes, this is 2001. We're doing 2001 Space Odyssey, the Discovery. Thought this would go just okay in there. What's he running into? Is he running into those side bricks? I think so. Well, then maybe he sits. I thought I could slot him in there standing, but if that's... I may not need those because they're not connected to anything. So if I got rid of those and got rid of these, and again, we're into this might compromise the structure of the thing, but he won't, his legs won't fit in there with those studs in the way. The T-Rex skeleton looks great. I kind of want to get it. I mean, I have a T-Rex skeleton now. That's the only problem I have with it is like, I have a T-Rex skeleton and a Triceratops and a Pterodon. I don't know that I need another one with like tan bones, but all right, so what's my alternative here? I can put those guys back and I can make them sit. That's probably okay. So if I release this, and I'm okay making him sit. It just feels awkward if he's not sitting inside it. If he's sitting atop of it, it looks kind of goofy, but that may be our only option. So I could just have him sit. Now group that together. Sit right there. That's not too bad. Yeah. It's the only place he can really sit, so it's not going to be a good tight fit right there, but it'll suffice. And maybe I'll put in a little plate right here to cover that up. It'll look a little funny. It won't be a good sphere covering thing there, but and ideally I'd want a nice stripe all the way around here. So it's possible I'll just do these guys all the way around. I don't know if that's going to be structurally sound or not, but if I did this, I think it'll be all right. And then it would give it kind of a stripe. I don't know if I can do it with this though, but maybe. It gives it kind of a stripe there. So, and I think I have a lot more of these than I do the gray 1x4s. So let's let's try that, and I'm just increasing the part count, and I know 113 parts, but this will be a big one. Yeah, plus I mean this is a very typical Lego thing to do because the T-Rex is the most popular of all dinosaurs. And because it features across all seven, right? Jurassic Park World movies. It's like the Millennium Falcon of dinosaur. They have a baby version. They have multiple like figure built versions. They have now they have a skull. They have two fossils. It's like there are other dinosaurs out there. You know, why not a nice big Brachiosaurus like the tall neck size a Brachiosaurus? Why not another Ankylosaurus, or why not a Mosasaur, some sea one that can be on a stand or something? There's all these things that they could do, but people don't want a Mosasaur. They want a T-Rex because T-Rex is what they think about. So that's what Lego does. And when you start collecting year over year, you start seeing that sort of pattern of, oh, they're just doing this again. You know? Okay, so I realize that there's like, these are staggered pieces of they're like hexagonal, but I think if I were to do that, it would be so part intensive. Like I could do another Travis brick, Where's my brick modified? And I can turn it and have it turn slightly 45 degrees. Minus 270. That's 315. That looks right. Are these open on the bottom? Yeah, so I can do this. So I can do that. That looks kind of like that, but I think they're like in shelf. They're almost like a shelf thing like this. So I would almost be okay with just doing like 2 on each side. We'll have to see. Yeah, power Megazords would be good, but you got to get the license of Power Rangers. I would love to see a robotics, but robotics was just another building system at the time, an excuse to use servos and you know, radial and linear actuators to make robots move. And the pieces that came with it, because you could customize it however you wanted, but however you wanted was kind of like, well, this piece is this giant elbow piece. What else am I going to use it for? So it was a little limited, but you could, you know, if you combined other motors, as long as it was able to lift the weight, you could make one of the motors do whatever you wanted to. That was very cool. Like, I liked robotics a lot because it kind of incorporated motion in the base design. It wasn't like Lego where you get all the stuff and then years later go, oh, you know what? I could motorize some of this. I don't want to do this because I don't think it'll hold up very well, but there's always this option. And it won't work now for some reason. Or it just sits in the back like that. And the reason I don't think it'll work is because that's not a very good connection and there's still going to be stuff on the back here. Yeah, Voltron was great. You know what I'd like to do? Let's look real quick to see. I'll go ahead and save this. I keep meaning to do this in the back of my head, but I don't. I would love a vehicle Voltron. And nobody's really done one on Rebrickable. Also, I think because Voltron's kind of IP heavy, they might call it Darrigger or something. Darrigger. No, there's no other one. Okay. I would like that scale Voltron. There's already no minifigures in it, so you could make it as big as you wanted, but I'd love it to be that scale. So you would have to have, there's 15 vehicles. So there's 5 each, air, sea, and land. You could make each vehicle be about that big. You know, that's not unsubstantial. I'm just looking at like 1 per foot, 2 per leg, one each per leg, 1 per arm, 1 per hand. And then like torso, there's like 2 or 3 torso. There's one that's like the shield on the front of the torso. I would love if I could find someone else's design for that. That is the same size. Like here's one. That's pretty good. Is this the same? Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that is completely doable. And it's almost like build a couple cars and put mixel joints on them, or put the big heavy click. I would love a vehicle Voltron standing next to this guy, but you also have to make it so it would make the super vehicles, because they have individual vehicles and then super vehicles. So this is Die Ruger. What's it called? Like, it's called Vehicle Voltron Force, but it's something else. It was Armored Fleet Die Ruger. I mean, just look at that. That's so rad. It's so cool. You can even make the glowy spinny disc. They have those radar dishes that are trans light blue. Easy. So if I can find... This is a pretty good scale. Like, I think... That's not that scale, though. This is a little bigger. This one's a little bigger. I think. Because they brick built the face. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the original ideas set, and somebody also did this. Oh, there was a thing over here. That's pretty good too. Is that the same? Anyway, I'd get this, and then there is a weird Voltron. So there were 3 independent, which is what happens. There were 3 independent Japanese cartoons that came over to the US and became Voltron. There was Go Lion something, Go Lion Beast something, Armored Fleet Die Ruger, and then there was another one called, it was Albagos or something like that. Which was this guy, right? We had this guy, like we had a toy of this guy. Lightspeed Electroid Albagos. This became Voltron of the mid universe. So Go Lion was Voltron of the far universe, or like the distant part of the galaxy. Vehicle Voltron was like they stay at home and fight around the Earth. This guy was like the middle area, and it was called Albagos because it was Alpha, Beta, Gamma, and it was 3 robots that would combine into one big robot. So each of these robot pieces was, you know, there was a blue robot, a red robot, and a black robot. And you can see the individual ones like that. And there was 3 pilots, right? We had these toys as kids. And I remember hearing that they were trying to get the cartoon of it to come over from Japan, but they never really got to it. And it kind of, like, Voltron kind of lost its appeal after a while. So I would love more vehicle anime robots. Big O, Transor Z, Mazinger, you know, all those kinds of things. I think they'd be fun. I think as much as I didn't like Gigantor as a cartoon, I think that'd be a fun Lego set. I mean, look how silly that guy is. How rad would that be as a Lego set? Right? Like old school robot looking with the rivets and stuff. I think that'd be super neat. You could almost make this now with those sad little eyes. And get like a little, what are those, plume, the Roman Centurion plumes or something like that. Super great. Big O is another one. I hope this doesn't pull up something. I'll put mech. This was a good one. That's a real good mech. This was like this show. If you never saw this one, this was like if Bruce Wayne were or had a giant mech instead of a bat suit. Instead of becoming a vigilante superhero, he became a vigilante superhero that owned a giant mech. So he would like go out and fight crime and stuff, but he was just this ridiculous billionaire kind of thing. And these kind of looked a little more like they had more of a feeling of like Pacific Rim type mechs, where they were very big and kind of lumbering a little bit, but kind of a little more in reality. You know, and people have done, what is it? 5? Is it 2? Yeah, they've done Evangelion Lego. These are great. If you get one of those, I'd love to see little like mechs of stuff. I think that's the next. We're supposed to, our next build challenge is to build a mech for the Mega Spark City, is to make like a steampunk mech, and that'll be like one of the first times. I don't make mechs really. I have in the past and they've looked terrible. So I think what I'm going to do is probably go through and look at like some very simple, average sized. People have skeletons of them out there. They're like, it's really easy. Here's a base skeleton. And then you just kind of panel it up however you want. So I'm going to start with that. I got plenty of mixel hinges and ratchet hinges and stuff from getting all the Horizon stuff put together. So that'll be the next thing. And then just cover it in brass and, you know, tubes and pipes and gears and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. But I would love to see a Vehicle Voltron Lego. And if I can find, that's what I was doing. That one looked pretty good. I'll see if I can just get the parts for it. Maybe build that on stream. You, Johnny can rebuild the Lion one, and I'll rebuild the or I'll build the Vehicle Voltron. It's retired. I don't want that. See, it looks like they submitted it for Yar. It's cookies I'll be needing. And I mean, it hasn't been updated in a long time. So it might be that they decided to put those out, the instructions for free somewhere. What do the updates say? So you even got your printed pilots here for the different teams. Yeah, this was 9 years ago. Official Lego comments. We've decided not to do this. Yeah. So this was done after 3 years. It's public. They can do with it what they want. So maybe they've got it out there, and I think this is it. Yeah. So this is a pretty good size. If it's out there, because I would hate to reverse engineer this. It doesn't look like it's that hard because it's individual vehicles, but oh wait, you know what? What was his name? Oh, Len. Yeah, it doesn't have like his name on here or anything, or their name. Len D69. And honestly, they should have the rights to Voltron already. Like, I get Voltron is complicated. It's like Robotech. It's not just you have to go through Harmony Gold or whatever. You've got to go through like whoever holds the rights to, you know, Legendary Fleet Dairuger, or whatever. But I'm gonna try to see how long ago this was. Oh my god, this is so long ago. But from the pictures, is this something I could figure out? Like they did a really good job on this. There's a lot of snot building to get the I mean close-up photos and everything. Like we made this out of Lego when we were kids. I remember making these out of Lego, all the cars and stuff. I'm trying to find where it might be, not on a forum, but like his own. Yeah, it's all on. Also, I would love to get the Legendary Defender Voltron. That would be rad. Like, that was a good looking Voltron and it was a good cartoon. This is just old ideas. Lendy Tag. Is that his name? Yeah, this may be one that I, add to my list of projects. That I already am working on to come back through and reverse engineer this. Interview, Lego ideas. Let's do minus ideas. Although, I'm hoping just to do minus ideas. Filipino lug. It's such a good cartoon. And I really appreciate the style that they've kind of adopted since then. It's very kind of Amerime, the Avatar kind of look to cartoons. And a lot of people have been doing that. I may try to find this person and reach out to them and say, hey, I'm not asking you for instructions, but I'm going to try to reverse engineer based off photos, if you don't mind. And I might do it on stream. I don't want to do it against your express wishes, but if you've got any input, that would be great. Because that'd be a fun thing to do on stream, I think. Go through these photos and try to figure it out, because I think it doesn't look too complicated. It doesn't look that bad. Some modified bricks here and there. I think the trick is, like, I'm not good with making these shapes with modified bricks, and figuring it out is very difficult because not knowing what's inside here, you don't know what the math is to get to those angles on the outside. It could be a number of combinations. But yeah, I'll look into that. In the meantime, we've got our over piece counted sphere here. So this is not hanging on to anything right now. So that's probably a good thing to keep in mind. Because I took these plates off, this is not needed anymore, so that is not a structurally sound thing. So what I probably will need to do is put a full plate back here. But I think what I might do is do a Technic plate. Like that. Hopefully they come in that color. They do. And then do this to keep it kind of round. And then I'm going to stick a... do I want to do a bar or an actual Technic axle? So I do a bar, I can slide Travis bricks on it. Let's do round plate. Let's do an axle. Well, if I do an axle, I can't really do anything with it along the spine. Round plate jumper. Round. Let's spell everything correctly. Okay. Round tile. Do the jumper tiles have holes all the way through? They do. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put a very long bar. Bar 7, 6. Whatever ones have these stoppers on them. Not that one. These. Okay, so I'm going to put this all the way so it holds in place nice. I can't really tell. How far that goes in. So let's hide. Nope, I don't want to hide that plate. I wanted to hide just this stuff. Hide, 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 hide. I wanted to get past this Technic plate. Hide. Nope. It should fit in that slot right about there. Okay. So that'll hold it in place pretty well. And then I can do modified brick. Nope. Like this. And then ingot. I think I'm going to do the rotated 45 degrees. 270 minus 45 is 225. Oh, I forgot to take this gray. What color am I on here? This just looks good. I'll just do this. All right, and I want another Travis brick. Here, but we're gonna do, let's hide these because I want to do some internal round plates. Yeah, I think between you and me, our channels will definitely help this person get a resurgence of ideas views. That's more dig on me than anybody, so. Will this go up to that? Yes. And then rotate this back. 270. And then this will be the we just need to advertise. This will be the radar dish. Yeah, I don't know what happened. That's not what I wanted to do. That's a computer design anyway. So everybody's homework, since we're getting to the top of the hour, your homework is to, if you haven't, go watch 2001. Honestly, and then go watch 2010. They haven't made a movie about 2062. which is the third book. But I would highly recommend at least seeing 2001 if you haven't. I feel it's worth it. It's a phone. It's a seminal movie. It's one of those that just everybody should see at least once. But give yourself a little bit, because I think it's like a 2.5 hour movie, and it's very slow. So don't do it. Don't try to watch it, because it was made in the 60s. It's just a different time period for movies, and they just made them differently. So keep that in mind, and give yourself make sure you're pretty well awake. So not like late at night or like in the mid-afternoon sleepy times, maybe like at 10 in the morning, right? Get yourself some breakfast and coffee and start it out. Do a couple chores, knock the movie out, have lunch. Because it will put you to sleep if you're not careful. I've tried to rewatch it a couple times. I'm like, ugh. But the storytelling's very good. Just keep in mind it's a little slow. There was, I thought, we're not restricting, and this is light bluish gray. I thought there was a clip that was like had a bar and then like 2 clips on either side, kind of like that. Let's just do, because I want to get a radar dish in here. Put this little guy in here like that. Then I also want the side guys, so I don't know how to do that just yet. We got a pneumatic T-square, and I learned because they have holes in them, and I didn't know that. That's where the air goes. Do. I don't know how else to make this clip. New part. What colors do these come in? Probably just black. Green and pearl gold. Well, that's a newish part, but they only come in pearl gold, so I can't really use that. Back to ye olde. See, there's like some bits on the side here I was going to try to do, but I may just do something else. Well, let's call this for now. I kind of maybe want to get a longer pole in here, but I don't know if I want to do that. We're already up to 127 pieces, and this isn't even that big. A lot of the pieces were taken up with this sphere, but I think it's kind of important to have the look. So maybe this is just going to be a big Microfighter, but I'll work on the rest at another time. Maybe we'll finish it out Thursday or next week. I will work on the engines, and then, yeah, let's do that. Let's plan on next Sunday finishing out this model with the engines, and then if we get done early, we'll start on a second one. Maybe another non-Star Wars one. Let's look real quick. So this is the list, non-Star Wars. Discovery should be in here somewhere. There, Discovery and David Bowman. So we'll say done, just because it'll be done soon. But yeah, we'll pick from one of these other ones. Maybe the Nostromo with Ripley. That ought to be pretty good. Or an A-team, maybe the A-team van with B.A. Baracus. I was telling my youngest child about Mr. T, because they're doing a project where they're interviewing me for a college oral report about history and something. And I had talked to him about a radio show that me and my brother did when we were young. Like, we copied an SCTV broadcast and had a tape recorder and made our own radio show. And at one point we were interviewing Mr. T, and he kind of looked at me, goes, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, my back and my knees hurt." So I had to explain to him who Mr. T was. So that might be a fun one just to make a minifigure out of, and then we'll make a black van with a red stripe on it, and we'll see how it goes. But all right, everyone. Well, have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope you're able to do some Lego-y stuff. If not, if your weather is nice, get out and do something. Go, see a movie or what have you. And let me make sure Thursday's good before I say goodbye to everybody. I think it's fine. Yeah, nothing going on Thursday. So I will see you all again here on Thursday. And have a good rest of your week.